Hi, I'm Pete, and this is a very special HK Now Store unboxing. This is the long-awaited MoYu 15 by 15 Big Cube. I can't wait to have a look at it and try it out. I ordered the puzzle just under 2 weeks ago on the day it was announced for sale to the public. This was shipped to me directly from the manufacturer in China. About 6 days ago, it was shipped by this really great service called EMS. It's post office to post office, and it was delivered right to my doorstep today. The box looks like it's gone through the standard crushing machine just a little bit, but it's not bad. There's a few creases in here. I'm not worried about it because I've seen the packaging for the 15 by 15 and it should be pretty sturdy. Okay, well, let's get this thing unboxed. Now I don't want to wreck anything here, so yeah. Now we know that MoYu announced this 15-layer puzzle along with the 13-layer puzzle many years ago. They've since then produced a really successful 13-layer puzzle that a lot of us really enjoyed. But not to be outdone, YuXin also released a very big cube. They released a 17-layer. I'm just gonna put this knife down, so really it's just sort of like a golden age for people that like really big puzzles. So there you go. That's right. There is one negative to it, right? And of course that negative is the price of some of these puzzles is getting pretty extreme. So there we go. Nothing else in the box. Whoa. Okay, well, that is what you get when you get it brand new right from the manufacturer. I should take a moment to mention that this is my puzzle. I bought it myself. I'm not sponsored in any way. I ordered it just like any other consumer, and so this is what it looks like when you get it. It's really cool, wrapped up in plastic. I don't know if you'd call this a brocade box, but it's just a very fancy box. I'm pretty sure it's cardboard, but they do have some nice metal fittings on it. Alright, let's have a look here. I'll get this plastic off. I can figure a way to do it. Okay. And okay. This is there. Okay, so I should have you can actually see the puzzle. And the first thing that strikes me is, even though it's a very large layered puzzle, you can see that it is fairly small. And we'll talk about that. Okay, let's see. This is a very fancy wrapping, I should say. Okay, that's great. Oh, okay, I see why they put the plastic on it. Okay, so this box has a kind of a velvety feel. It's really kind of neat. A little kind of a velvety feel and sort of embossed gold lettering. Let's take a look at that. I'm going to put the knife away. I think we won't need it anymore. Put the knife away before somebody gets hurt. Okay. So, what's it say here? It says MoYu, and I assume that also says MoYu underneath in Chinese, maybe? Let me know if you can read Chinese. And then on the bottom it says 15 by 15 cube, and then it has collector's edition on it. Okay, so there's been no real word about any other editions of this or colors or anything like that. This is as much as I know about it. And then we have the fittings on here on this side. Nice little. It actually seems like a metal handle. I don't think it's plastic. And then on the back we have a bigger version, I think, of what we just saw, the 15 by 15 cube. This is gold. My lighting probably not doing it justice. It really is quite a nice color here. What I can read is excellent quality, innovative design. I think they've been using that for a while, that logo. And just there's some final writing on the box is this right here, this data plate, a more conventional data plate. Wow, there is absolutely, okay, there's very little on there I can read. No babies, 0 to 3, so gotta blow out those 4 candles and then you'll be able to solve this puzzle. Now I see that there's 2 different variants. It looks like a black body and a white body, and that's it. So we don't see, at least on this packaging, a variant that would be a stickerless, right? Which is something that people might be interested in. Okay, well, here's the moment of truth then. I'm gonna open this box up. And oh, wow, this is really a fancy kind of thing here. Let me just kind of hold this up, and okay, we'll see what that is when I take that out. Some cardboard residue or something. Okay, there's a little collar holding it in place. Oh, that's better. So you get a fairly deep pocket to put that cube in. Now it's interesting that you can put it in that way, but it'll also fit that way. Huh, just sort of, okay, so there's the puzzle. Just gonna see, oh, look at that. So I thought to look under, and indeed, so what have they given us? Some extra goodies here. There's a brochure. Well, this is very, okay, just I guess some data and stuff like that. And then, okay, there is some actual English writing here. I'm not going to read the whole thing. The 15 by 15 cube is a new era of MoYu, a product, MoYu's product line. Okay, with experience designing big cubes. Okay, this is great. So this is, yeah, and they basically talked about how long it took them to design this, and they did. They really spent quite a bit of time. So there's a picture, and again, no signs of a stickerless version, so who knows. And they show, oh, this is great. Okay, so when you get your own, you can read the whole thing. They also sent some extra stickers, which would be a very welcome thing to have. A new core, which, you know, if you've ever dropped this, I think you'd be looking at a new core, and some screws, washers, and springs. So just a nice little extra package of extras. Now I'm just looking to see. I think that's the same. Yeah, those are the same color, so they're not. It's not like they're different colors. So that was nice of them to do that. I'm not really sure I want to. Okay, just get the box out of the way here. So everyone's going to ask me, what am I going to do with the box? Because it's a really nice box, but you know I don't collect boxes. So what am I going to do with the box? Well, tell me in the comments what you think I should do with the box. Okay, so it's just paper. What would I say? It's just some paper. There's maybe some, yeah, so it looks like there was some lube and then some cardboard fibers just stuck to it. So there you go. That is the MoYu 15 by 15 by 15 puzzle. Now, there's something a little bit peculiar about it in that, you know, I have fairly small hands, but I'm able to hold it no problem at all. Let's try a few turns here. Okay, and you know, as I expected, I would have been very surprised if it didn't turn well. Their 13-layer puzzle turned very well as well. Yeah, it's absolutely fine. A wee bit on the stiff side. There is some lube in there. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but there's definitely some lube between the layers. So it's been lubed. Yeah, I actually like this tension, and that's, you know, talking to people about the YuXin 17 layer puzzle, one of the things people are concerned about is how much the pieces spread when they're turning it. It's a very squishy puzzle. This is quite solid. Now, I'm not saying one design is better than the other, but certainly I like this kind of this stiffer design. It is still pillowed, but not so much. Not nearly as much as some of the older puzzles. Stickers look really good, very well placed. I'm really interested to know how they managed to do this, because that's some really good precision there. I don't see any problems with the stickers at all. One of my hesitations to get this puzzle was the fact that there are so many stickers on it that really it's almost time at a certain point, I think, to go with a colored plastic puzzle. But they haven't announced one, and so if they are planning to make one, it's certainly not anytime in the foreseeable future. Alright, well, one of the things that I think I really should do now before we get too far along here is compare this to some of the other big cubes that are out there. I'm just going to use a little towel here to protect the stickers and to keep them from wobbling around on this desk. So I guess we could compare it in size to one of my first big cube. This is my 11 layer YuXin puzzle, which has had half bright stickers applied. Back when I first got this, it wasn't really the norm for stickers to come, or puzzles to come with half bright stickers. But as you can see now, it pretty well is. So we see the 11 layer puzzle, slightly more pillowing. People didn't like their YuXin 11 layer puzzles. I really like this. I really always enjoyed solving it. It can be just a little bit catchy during turns sometimes, but it's not so bad at all. So then the next one that came along a couple of years ago was the mighty MoYu 13 layer puzzle, and there we are. This was the the king of large cubes for a while. Turning was really good, and it's always been a really fun puzzle to solve. Now, this is something that we might note right away, other than the fact that they've used a duller sticker, so it may not be really visible on a video, but the 13 layer puzzle is the orange is a dull orange. This is a very bright, kind of half bright orange. Yeah, so it's definitely using muted colors. Not a big deal at all. So here we notice where things get a little bit awkward on the size, in that I had 11, 13, and then 15. It goes down. It's actually, they've made the 15 layer puzzle smaller, which actually makes a certain amount of sense. I can still solve this, but you can see that it's not as easy to handle. It's certainly a very big puzzle, and certainly not as portable as a much smaller puzzle. So there's something to be said for that, making the puzzles a little bit smaller, and who knows, maybe they'll come out and remake the 13 layer in a smaller size if they think they could. On the negative side for the smaller puzzles, at least for someone like me, who's maybe my eyesight is not as good as it once was, never very good, these stickers are really tiny now, and it can be quite challenging to distinguish these very tiny stickers on the puzzle. So just something to when you're solving it, especially early on, piece recognition. That's actually my main complaint about the next biggest puzzle, and now I gotta make room here. This is the YuXin 17 layer puzzle. puzzle. So you see, and so here's the family portrait lined up from 11, 13, 15, and 17, and we see that the 17 is just this monster puzzle compared to the new 15 layer puzzle. Compared to all of them, it really took a huge step up. So I do find it difficult to recognize the pieces on this puzzle, and they're fairly large. So I'm not quite sure how it's going to work on this one. Maybe having the black outline will help at least separate the pieces a little bit. So that's it. You know, this is a fun puzzle. The YuXin puzzle, the pieces spread apart quite a bit as you're solving it. Not really. It looks horrifying when that happens, right? The pieces really spread apart, but the puzzle solves fine. And if you actually look at the pieces, they've got these huge wings that will prevent them from falling out, even when they're really spread apart. So yeah, I've had people ask me about that. Is this what your puzzle does? And yeah, it does. It does it. This is a fun solve, but it's also a squishier puzzle than the MoYu puzzles. So you know, it's different. That's all. I'm not saying it's still a lot of fun to solve, and certainly I'm glad to have it. So this is the comparison then. I don't even know if I'm getting them all in frame here. So yeah, so we've gone down in size. You would sort of expect the 15 layer to be maybe just a little bit bigger, and then the 17 to kind of eclipse them all, but it's actually gotten smaller. So who knows, maybe MoYu would come out with a 19 layer puzzle that's smaller than the current 17 layer YuXin puzzle. That would be kind of cool. Alright, well that was my show and tell with the other big cubes. So let's maybe put this through its paces a little bit more. I'm gonna keep this here just to put the puzzle on when I'm setting it down. So, you know, of course you gotta do a checkerboard. Yeah, those layers are really thin. That's something that's you know, it's amazing that you're able to get that, and it turns really well. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Now, one of the other things that happened when the MoYu 13 layer first came out, there was an early batch that had some problems with the edges. I had one of those that had problems with the edges, and what ended up happening was they sent me a whole new puzzle because I had so many bad edges. But yeah, it's we'll take a look at the edges here as soon as I finish my checkerboard. Yeah, I kind of very impressed in that this puzzle is small. At first, I have to say I was a little put off by the fact that it was so small compared to the other puzzles, but now that I'm actually using it and manipulating it, I realize that it really, you know, these puzzles take a long time to solve anyway. I certainly don't speed cube them. I certainly don't speed cube them, but it's you know, there is also some physical wear and tear. It's you know, solving one of these big puzzles and holding it. So just being able to kind of rest a little bit on the desk and actually grip the whole thing with my hand, for me anyway, I think that'll increase the enjoyment of the solve. It won't be quite so fatiguing, because really, if you're going to get a puzzle like this, you really should be planning on solving it. You know, if you know, regularly anyway. I think. Anyway. Some people like to collect puzzles and just kind of keep them on the shelf. That's fine. That's there are people, puzzle collectors. I am a puzzle solver, so all the puzzles I get, they have they earn their keep. I always like to solve my puzzles. Okay, so that's what the checkerboard looks like, and you can see the colors. Yeah, I think, you know, sticker puzzle looks so nice, but the maintenance of all those stickers, I would certainly not be looking too forward to having to replace all those stickers. I've restickered a Petaminx before, and that was was it. I also restickered my 13 layer YuXin puzzle. So that's what it is. Pieces definitely don't separate at all, and yeah, and there's absolutely no problem with the edges on this puzzle. I'm sure that they figured out whatever was the problem with the cracked edges. Okay, that is, wow, that is really really cool. So I guess my question to you out there watching my video, what do you think of these big cubes? You know, is this something you'd like to have? Is this something that you would get for yourself? Would you maybe ask for it for a present, or would you rather buy a lot more, you know, puzzles that cost less? The price, this is the one thing that really kind of alarms me a bit about these big cubes. The price is just puts it out of reach of a lot of cubers, and it's too bad, right? Because, you know, shouldn't everyone be able to get something like this if they want it? This is, of course, certainly in the category of, you know, we talk about wants and needs. This is certainly in the wants category. And it's the sort of thing that, you know, we don't get puzzles like this very often. And, you know, honestly, if I think about puzzles and you know, other hobbies as well, even though this is a big cube and it might not appeal to a lot of people and the price puts it out of reach, so then are some of the speed cubes, right? So everyone can afford a Rubik's Cube. You know, go to Walmart, $12 in Canada here. But you know, if you want a really good speed cube, you know, you're looking for probably $30, $40, something like that. There may be some other bargains to be had, and that is out of the reach of a lot of puzzlers too. So there you go. Yeah, this is, it is very stiff turning. I do expect it to loosen up a bit. I'm pretty sure my 13 by 13 was like that as well. And it loosens up just a little bit. So I would not adjust the tensions at all. With this, wouldn't add any lube. I would just solve it a couple of times. And I think it will be okay. You know, let's see what else I can do with this. By the way, I just realized that there are no logos whatsoever on this. No logos anywhere. I don't think there's a logo on the other MoYu either. So I guess, I don't know. They just went without a logo. There is a small logo on the YuXin 17 layer puzzle. I think there was a logo on the original stickers of the 11 layer as well. So that's it. Yeah, that's the 13. That's the 15 layer MoYu. Yeah, big cube. What was I going to do? Actually, what I was going to do wouldn't make sense in this context, though. I guess it's probably. Oh, let's try a couple algorithms. Why not? Yeah. So. I don't know, I guess the edges seem pretty proportionate. That you know, when big cubes first came out, the big edges seemed like maybe they would be a little bit, they seemed a little too big for the cubey size, but I don't know, maybe we're just used to seeing them now, used to the look of them. But this edge seems pretty good, and I think I see that they've their stickers maybe downplay the width of the edge a little bit too, which, you know, makes sense from a design point of view. Yeah, let's take a look at. Yeah, that's. I guess it's about the same. Pillowing. Yeah. So let me know in the comments how you feel about big cubes. Is that something you'd get? Would you save up for it? You're not interested? Is it something that you could afford but don't want to afford? I am really curious to know what the attitudes are out there about these big puzzles. What's next for me is for sure I'm going to scramble this up and solve it. I might do a solve video. We'll see how long it takes me. And yeah, I'm really happy to have this. This is just this is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be many hours of enjoyment, and that's really the name of the game, right? Is having something that you have fun with and that you look forward to. When you have a little bit of free time. Okay, well, there is the big cube family, a nice family portrait. Let me know in the comments what you think about getting these big puzzles. Is that something you want? Is that something you'd get if you could afford it but can't? Or it's something you could afford but don't want to get such a big puzzle, would rather spend your money on other puzzles? Yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. As always, I appreciate all your other comments, anything you're interested in. How about a 19 by 19? Are you interested in getting one of those? And how much do you think that would cost? All right, well, that's it for this unboxing. So until next time, thanks for watching.